Hi, everybody. Welcome to the House of the Princess. Give me 1 second because I am having technical difficulties. I can't see how to bring anything on to the screen, so everything is looking uh, kind of crazy. I will play some music, but I don't even see that. All I see is how to put the comments on the screen. And I don't really care about that at the moment. So, in the meantime, hit the like button and we're going to do a reset. Okay, I'm back. It's still kind of a little wonky. I had to restart it like a whole bunch of times to get it going. But we are here again. Thank you for your patience and you were here. This new stuff with StreamYard, them doing the upgrades, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I'm still getting used to it. But I legit could not see like the whole thing to even do the newscast. So I thought maybe when I went live it might have changed and it didn't. So, nevertheless, if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Princess A.V. and I am your host and your channel proprietor of the House of the Princess. You are now watching the 50/50 News, where I give 100% of the news with a twist of ratchet. So I give my own commentary on the news that's going on. We're going to do local Chicagoland news. We also do world and national news, entertainment news, and a little bit of YouTube. So, what I'm asking, please get me all up in your algorithm. Please press the like button, share, tell somebody I'm live, let them know what's going on, and make sure that you subscribe. And that's a free way to support the channel. And when you subscribe, put your notifications on all so you'll know every time I'm going live and you won't miss a thing. And so I appreciate you guys that have been supporting and that do support. And we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty of it all. Also, if you want to follow me on any of my socials, they are at the bottom. And we appreciate if you give to the channel be it via Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat, Apple Pay, Google Pay, um, credit card, or buying products. We accept it all over here. So just reach out, or perhaps you just want to email me something. I get people that send me information in DMs every day. So you can also email me or send me information. And thank you. Hey, how you doing? Everybody come on in. Feel free to banter in the chat as we go over today's news. So without further ado, so I can do some other things today. And this even looks different from the other day when I came up here. Um, let's get to it. Local news. Okay, as we did before, we still have quite a few local um, newscasts today. First, we're going to start off with a follow up, and I haven't even done this, fooling with the other stuff. We're going to do a follow up on our news story, I want to say from the other day, from the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And that is the rapper Mello Buckzz from the south side of Chicago. If you missed it or you're unfamiliar, because I do have people all over the world that watch. There was a mass shooting at her record release party. So there is a follow up that is quite unfortunate. Her father has now been indicted and is under investigation and in police custody. That's the word I'm looking for right now for possibly racketeering. So let's go and hear the story, and I'm also going to have to read the story off to you. So let's go. Fox, my favorite channel, only because I have less problems with the copyrights over there.
Father of local rapper Mello Buckzz is tonight facing federal gun charges. In the lawsuit, the ATF says that 49-year-old Melvin Doyle sold a Glock pistol to two ATF informants in late May at Doyle's home. Now, the suit also says this is not the first time that Doyle has sold a gun, as it happened multiple times in the months following. Now, you may recall the mass shooting in River North happened during a listening party for Mello Buckzz, although currently there is no connection with that case.
Developing tonight, two young men remain.
All right. So we're going to go over here so that you can see the story. So word on the street is that he calls himself Melly Mel, okay, like the other rapper. So that's what he's known on the street as Melly Mel. His name is Melvin. And you could tell, I guess he kind of named his daughter after him, Melody, or Melanie, and his name is Melvin. The father of local rapper Mello Buckzz, who held an album release party before a deadly mass shooting occurred in the River North last week, was indicted Tuesday on federal gun charges, court documents show. Now, what we know, Melvin Doyle is accused of selling a Glock pistol to two confidential informants with the Bureau of Tobacco, Alcohol, and Firearms and Explosive, otherwise known as the ATF, for $800 on May 20th. The transaction took place inside his home in the 5800 block of Martin Luther King Drive and in Chicago, and was recorded on video and audio, court documents state. Doyle allegedly arranged the sale through text messages and phone calls with one of the agents who previously had bought a gun from him. On May 18th, Doyle sent a photo of a purple Glock pistol and later told the agent his partner got that Gen 23, referring to a weapon for sale. The two sides agreed on a price, and the ATF agents met Doyle at his residence to complete the transaction. Inside the home, Doyle handed the Glock to one of the agents, told him that it was a gun, and was seen on video counting the pre-recorded buy money, according to the prosecutor. I don't know why I'm reading like this, excuse me. He also mentioned plans to travel to Alabama and claimed he had 5 more firearms available for sale, including an AR pistol. Law enforcement later determined that the Glock had been manufactured outside Illinois and had been traveled in an interstate commerce. Now let's dig deeper. Over the course of the investigation, agents purchased a total of 13 firearms from Doyle through similar transactions. On July 7th, after selling 3 more guns to undercover agents at the residence in the 600 block of South Champlain Avenue, Doyle was arrested. He had a pistol holster on his waist, $1,100 in his shirt pocket, a cell phone used to coordinate the deals, court documents said. Court records show Doyle is a convicted felon and is prohibited from possessing firearms. His criminal history includes a 1998 conviction for attempted murder in Cook County, for which he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. In 2006, conviction for manufacturing or delivering controlled substances, and a separate conviction for delivering 15 to 100 grams of heroin, resulting in sentences of 3 and 5 years, respectively. What's next? Prosecutors allege there is a probable cause that Doyle knowingly possessed a firearm despite his felony convictions. The gun charges are not connected to the July 2nd mass shooting outside the Artist restaurant and lounge in River North, which killed 4 and injured 14 following a listening party for Mello Buckzz. And the source's information is in the story was provided by the U.S. District Court, Northern District, Illinois Eastern Division documents, and a previous Fox 32 report. That means I can look up on Pacer or just go look up the documents. I don't know what's wrong with my voice all of a sudden when I go live. I haven't been talking all day. And then again, that might be why as well. So please excuse me as I get the ball rolling here. So what you see here is, what I get from that is there are some generational curses going on here. There are some generational things. So I understand why her rapping about and her content is about gang life and robbing and killing, or, allegedly robbing, because I haven't listened to all the songs. So I can just hood stuff, drill, because that's what she knows. That's what she grew up in. And it's unfortunate. You go to jail, get your life back, go right back to the same stuff. There's nothing to say. You can't say, I hope he get off or whatever, because he did that shit. They caught him red-handed. They caught him red-handed multiple times. So they wanted to make sure that he goes to jail. So I just hate that for that family. It's like when it rains, it pours. She's going through a loss at a time where she should be on a high. I even saw that she got a song with Lotto. Like she's on the uptick in her life and then in her professional life. But meanwhile, her personal life is going to the dogs. And so I know that can be conflicting. What I will say is I wish her the best. I want her to stay encouraged, keep working, get up out of here. Do what you got to do to get up out of here. I'm not a Chief Key fan at all, but he did what he had to do to get up out of here. He might got some warrants and stuff, whatever, but he's gotten out of here. He's moved up, moved on with his life. He's living okay. He's in another state, and he's doing okay. And he's making investments. I don't know how much he's changed his life or changing his life, but he he's apparently not doing much because he ain't got in no trouble. And so I wish that for her, that she can move out of this and just move forward and be successful. And that's, yeah, that's what I wish for her. Anything else on this story, and I'll keep reporting. I'll keep letting y'all know, and keep your head up. Condolences to the family again. And child, I wouldn't wish none of this on nobody. Like that's a lot. That's a lot emotionally to go through. So our next story is two young men were on their way to Great America and they were caught in a shootout on the expressway. So let's go into our next story.
Developing tonight, two young men remain hospitalized after being shot in their vehicle on the Dan Ryan Expressway this afternoon.
WGN's Jenna Barnes was on the scene shortly after the gunfire. She has more on the story tonight.
Ray and Micah, we're told two recent high school graduates were shot on the Dan Ryan this afternoon as they were heading up to Six Flags Great America for a day with their friends before they all head off to college this fall.
Basically, I just saw like a lot of the polices, the fire trucks, the ambulance.
A shooting and massive police response shut down inbound lanes of the Dan Ryan near 43rd Street Wednesday afternoon. Traffic snarled by the investigation in the express lanes that expanded when Illinois State Police also closed the inbound local lanes as they tried to figure out who opened fire on this white Chevy. Our cameras captured what appeared to be bullet holes in the passenger side door. Illinois State Police say they responded to the call of shots fired just after 2 in the afternoon.
Avoidance in 54, be advised, both two people shot now. You're getting 9 and 35, number 9 and 35 for 54.
The Chicago Fire Department tells us they took two 18-year-olds to hospitals, one in critical condition, the other in serious condition. Montrell Grady recorded video of the scene on the Citizen app and saw the victims being loaded onto ambulances.
One was laying down and one was like sitting up on the stretcher. They was like trying to hurry up and put him on the stretcher, and they hurried up and put him in the ambulance.
The owner of the white Chevy told us off camera the shooting stemmed from road rage. She says her two sons were in the car with their friends, all recent high school graduates, heading up to Six Flags for the day. But they didn't get far before someone in another car started shooting at them. Her son's friends, she says, were the ones who were shot. The mom told me her sons didn't get a good look at the shooter and all of the chaos that was happening, and she's asking anyone with information to call police. So far, no updates from Illinois State Police on the search for suspects. On the South Side, Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
In tonight's WGN Investigates, a South Suburban School District.
Okay, stop. Damn. Hey, we getting the hang of it again. I'll be telling this thing to stop and it just keep doing what it wants to do. Okay. I knew when I heard the story that it was something to do with the road rage. Even I myself, sometimes I have road rage. I don't have it bad, but by me have been a professional driver. I still hold a CDL. Sometimes you be getting up in arms and you getting your feelings, your emotions, and you be like, F you, F your mama too, or you want to cut somebody off, and it's just not the best thing to do. These days, people is doing just that. They'll shoot you on the road. They don't care. People are mentally unstable and they're operating a vehicle. You see a group of multiple people all up in the car, don't even do it. Just be cool. Sometimes it's not worth it. Now, fortunately, neither one of those children lost their lives, those young men, but they could have. It could have been an accident. It could have been multiple people lost their life. And so sometimes it's just not worth it to go back and forth with other people. Now, also, if you holding, like, why are you that emotional that you need to be shooting people on the expressway? You don't know them. Uh, and they got cameras on the expressway. Now, you willing to lose your life or just to have on your heart that you took somebody's life over something going on the road? Somebody cut you off, wouldn't let you through, or called you out your name or flipped you off. Like, it's stupid. The whole thing is stupid, and we just got to do better, uh, just as a people. And thank you for the people that are coming in. Shouts out to you. So the next story, it's a little bit lengthy, but it's important. I know, shouts out to Big E, who was out there, one of the parents, um, in the Country Club Hills school system. Coming up off the back of cleaning up the mess of Tiffany Henyard, which I have some stories about her, which we'll talk about on the I Know You Lying segments. We still have more corruption in the smaller suburbs, in the south suburbs of Chicagoland area. So the Country Club School System 160 is also dealing with corruption and stealing and whatnot, and they are trying to get the people out. So here we go. We're still messing with WGN today. Let's see what they're speaking of.
In tonight's WGN Investigates, a South suburban school district with big bills and even more questions. Parents have been demanding answers for months now.
And WGN's Brona Tumulty is joining us now with more on this tonight. Brona.
Good evening, guys. We're talking about District 160. School officials in Country Club Hills have been unwilling to explain expenses relating to travel, meals and more. Now, we looked at the last 2.5 years of credit card statements and found other questionable charges. There may be some legitimate explanations for some of them, but district officials have declined to answer to parents, taxpayers and us.
It's alarming for us. And we're saying that how do we have money for that, but we don't have anything that is beneficial to our children, to our students, in order for them to academically succeed.
Sequoia Williams is a parent in Country Club Hills and says she noticed problems from the get-go last year after enrolling her children in District 160.
I found out through staff members that a lot of the school administrators were put on leave that was over at the district office due to mismanagement of finances.
Since then, she's been a very vocal part of school board meetings, which is where we met her in May, as she and others spoke out at the podium.
Under Dr. Megan's leadership, this district has become a toxic environment.
But we cannot ignore the impact of failed leadership.
It seemed then the district's finances might need some scrutiny, so we started digging into the spending habits of Superintendent Dwayne Main and the rest of the board, namely former President and current Secretary Jacqueline Doss.
Because they are absolutely both a part of the issues.
Those issues are lengthy, but in just the last 2.5 years, district credit card reports in Main's name show hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on much more than just education. In fact, those reports show roughly $250,000 in charges at hotels, including the Hilton in New Orleans, the Bellagio in Vegas, and the Marriott in Atlanta.
They've taken sports away. They've taken like all of the extracurricular activities that our children have had. They've taken them away. And they keep telling us we don't have money.
Food-related expenses adding up to almost $130,000, with countless payments to DoorDash and Uber Eats, $3,500 spent at Cooper's Hawk in Orland Park, and thousands more at high-end steakhouses from DC to Napa.
We get that school boards will go out to eat. We get that they go and they converse about different things going on in the community, the schools, and things like that. It's egregious at this point.
The cost of getting to and from the likes of those restaurants and resorts climbing to almost $70,000 in airline charges, with occasional perks like onboard Wi-Fi and upgrades to TSA pre-check. All that could be the tip of the iceberg. Things getting heated at last week's board meeting with news other credit cards may also be open in the district's name.
There's no way possible you're going to tell me we have another credit card with the money that we've spent on this.
From the reports we do have, ground transportation came in at almost 100 grand. New board president Sharon Mack last week scolding use of what she called first-class service.
There's other methods of transportation that we can take. We don't have to go first class. Limousine service would be considered first service class. To Midway Airport, that's, to me, it's ridiculous.
Mac only recently taken the reins from Doss, who isn't a fan of our cameras. She's been under scrutiny about a Ford F-150 truck, which she allegedly purchased from the district for $500. That money returned to her May 19th when she relinquished the vehicle. Per the district, it's worth a lot more.
The board would need to discuss this. I would continue and follow up with the attorneys. But as of right now, it looks like the only thing we can say is thank you for the donation.
Maine previously claiming he knew nothing about it.
I didn't really know about the sale of the truck, but I do know that, that former President Doss was working, with the business manager regarding that.
But if you knew they were working on the transaction, then you were aware of the transaction.
And who signed the title in that transaction remains a mystery.
We need to see the title of the truck.
Both Doss and Maine declined our interview requests via email, and we've since tried again in person.
It's Bro now, WGN. I spoke with him briefly beforehand. He said he would talk to us in the interim. And what about you, Miss Doss? Can you speak with us?
I already told you no comment.
Okay, but we were trying to get interviews with you to get your side of the story, because there's expense reports. There's almost $9,000 in charges at the Bellagio. No comment. Okay, Mr. Maine, have you ever stayed at the Bellagio? Do you know there's $20,000, more than $20,000 in hotel charges for December of 2024 alone?
Problems do go beyond the bottom line. Parents say safety is a major issue, citing problems with bus routes and a lack of crossing guards.
We can't have students walking across this road. I'm very serious. I wouldn't walk across it that way.
Security also top of mind. This man, per school email, seemingly entering Meadowview Intermediate in April without permission and was then escorted off-site. According to the Illinois Report Card website, this district of just 3 schools has under 1,000 students, about 70% of whom are from low-income families and 3% are homeless. Enrollment numbers have been declining in recent years, and we're told they could be about to drop further, because parents are demanding Maine moves on or they will.
We will not be enrolling our children until 2 things happen. Either Dr. Maine is terminated or he resigns.
Now, at the last meeting, the board did approve hiring a forensic accountant, and we're told future transactions, such as those with the truck, will be done in open forum. But it also emerged over the weekend that a special board meeting has been called for tomorrow night. Items on that agenda include the Ford truck again, the issues with the school buses, and all of those credit card expenses.
I've ever seen a board member holding up a sheet to cover their face the entire time.
Yeah, I guess she was camera shy.
Yeah, it's so concerning that now we have done several stories about different entities or different municipalities where they're having issues with their credit cards and overspending. So it's interesting that now we're reporting on a second one.
Absolutely. It remains to be seen.
Sorry, forgot to unmute. They're not the only ones. There's so many smaller municipalities that are basically getting away with murder. They're stealing money, misappropriating money. I've dealt with college funds. I still deal with funds and bigger funds. And of course, there are certain grants or certain allotments for employees, and there's a certain allotment for supplies and different things like that when you get per diems to go on conferences. Yes, I get it. But I'm like that lady there. Like, I ain't never took no limousine. There are caps on that, and it should always be caps on that. You are not, especially when you talk about the school and the kids don't have what they need to have, and you're talking about being in limousines in first class. No, get your ass in, coach. Like, drive your car, get an Uber. And I'm not talking about an Uber Black unless it's like 10 of y'all in there. Get the minimal. Like, you don't have to get the trash and stay at the Motel 6, but why are you at the Bellagio? There were so many places in between and so much more cost effective if you have to go to Vegas that you could stay in. You know, you over there by Caesar's Palace, you're at the best of the best. Like, there are in between. So, and then when you get to doing this, even though we know what this lady looked like, she was in another news thing. And when you get to doing this, for what? School system stuff is public. We know what you look like anyway. We know how much you make. We know where you live. It's public information. So I don't know what the point of that was. It was done, but okay, girl. And now she's saying she bought the truck, and the truck, it's another video. What needed $12,000 worth of work, and I just took the truck off their hand. Why do you want a broken down truck then if it needed all that work? You tell me why. Why would I spend $500 on a truck that I got to put $12,000 in? Makes no sense, ma'am. And you're right. It ain't their money, so I'm gonna spend it. But you take an oath to serve the children. It's the kids. You're not even taking away from like the people. You take away from the children. Like, it's a special kind of people who do that. But I digress. Okay. Our next story is, because we got lots going on today, is about Ice Baby. Okay, Chicago is a sanctuary city, a non-compliant city with ICE. Okay, so they try to harass people at the Puerto Rican Museum, and Puerto Rico said no bueno, nunca, not here. Okay, nunca aquí. So we have our next story here on that. All right, let's go.
Happens tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, you. Bruno.
Local officials say they might take legal action against the federal government after federal officials showed up unannounced at a Puerto Rican center last night.
They say the feds tried to intimidate workers at a local museum and could be preparing major action at an upcoming family festival. Political reporter Paris Schutz has the latest on this. Paris?
Yes, Sylvia, Chicago alders say they're gathering information on this visit to the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture in Humboldt Park last evening. Security footage at that museum shows agents showing up to the parking lot and coming toward the building. There's other footage showing some of those agents inside the building. Museum officials say they did not have a warrant and they were told to leave this private property, but they did not. One official allegedly asked to use the bathroom, but then came in with others and cased the center instead. They worry that the agents are preparing for major action at this weekend's Barrio Arts Fest, and so they're stepping up security.
You can't just come into communities and start looking at Latino people and saying, well, maybe they're undocumented, so I'm going to handcuff them, right? Which seems to be the tactic that we're watching ICE, the National Guard, and other cities sort of implement very widely. But here in Chicago, we are going to stand firm in that you're not going to enter private property. You're not going to come into cultural events without a judicial warrant. It's a violation of the Constitution. It's a violation of people's rights. And quite frankly, it's illegal.
And museum officials say the agents never told them why they were there, but also worry about an upcoming Colombian festival that's going to happen in a few weeks. They say they also weren't sure why a Puerto Rican museum is being targeted. As you know, Puerto Ricans are American citizens and thus can't be deemed illegal or deported. A local alderperson, Jesse Fuentes, you saw there, says the city will consider taking legal action. And local museum officials say they believe the agents were there unlawfully.
We're having attorneys on site to ensure that if they were to come back in any way, shape, or form, that we would have the right representation without disrupting the family-free festival. It would be very ignorant on their behalf to attempt to come in to a family festival with children and seniors and community members, but I wouldn't put it past them, so we're prepared.
And we just heard from the Department of Homeland Security about 5 minutes ago, issuing a statement saying false. The DHS did not target the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture on July 8th. HSI Chicago's Financial Crimes Task Force staged and held a quick briefing in the museum's parking lot in advance of an enforcement action related to a narcotics investigation. But the spokesperson did not answer follow-up questions as to why they staged this on private property or whether or not they had a warrant to be there, Terrence. It seems like they were confused. It is a public park there, but museum officials had to explain to these federal agents that the museum is indeed private property and they can't just be there without some kind of warrant.
All right, Paris. It's not the...
I smell a lie. Okay, I smell a lie. And now I've been working on my Spanish every day. So if I'm not mistaken, El Museo de Puertorriqueño, okay, está no aquí, all right, not here. Somebody told me some cuss words yesterday, so I'll keep them to myself. But that's exactly what they sound like. Federal agents don't know where they are and where they're staging. Since when do federal agents just stage in the middle of a park and talk about financial crimes? It smells of lies. And it just shows you how racist and dumb these people are. And you gonna tell me that the Puerto Rican people don't know the difference between just regular Fed agents and ICE? Get out of here. Get out of here. And you're racist. Again, Puerto Rican people cannot be deported. Puerto Rico is like the 51st state of the United States. It is a property of the United States. You do not need a passport to go to Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico is America. And that's why men go down there to get all the hoes. But that's another conversation for another segment. They have no scruples. They have no compassion. We're just going to come and do what we want to do when we want to do it. In that instance, that is why I do love Chicago, because even the government is gangsta. You will not do what you want to do when you want to do it. And we don't give no F's about it. As a matter of fact, the city of Chicago, along with other states and cities, is suing the current administration about ICE, okay, and being a sanctuary city. So stand up, Puerto Ricans. Humboldt Park is a rough area. Them people would probably have no problems violating ICE or the government for coming into their neighborhoods anyway. So y'all go ahead on with y'all bad self. Stand up for your people. Our next story is there was an SUV accident that ran into a pace bus in the south side of Chicago after following a short police chase. So let's go to our next story here with Fox.
Several people were injured in a crash involving a pace bus on the city's far south side. Joni is live with the latest on that. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning. Some of the injured are brought here to Advocate Christ Medical Center, critically injured when that Jeep hit the pace bus. Police say that they were conducting a traffic stop when the Jeep took off. The scene at Vermont and Halstead in West Pullman still has car parts, glass, and other debris at the intersection. Blue Island police said they witnessed the Jeep disregard a red light. They followed it and it sped toward Chicago. It traveled on Vermont, slamming into the pace bus on Halstead. at about 7:30 last night. 2 other vehicles were hit. Some of the injured reportedly were children. Witnesses said that the Jeep was going pretty fast on Vermont. That's a residential street, but police did not say how many people were on that Pace bus. 9 people were taken to hospitals. 11 people total were hurt. Chicago police say that the driver of the Jeep is a 31-year-old male, and there was a passenger, a 34-year-old male, but no information on their injuries at this hour. Blue Island police are investigating. No arrests or citations yet. Reporting.
So, what I speculate is this. Well, I'll say this. If you're riding dirty, if you got sticks and stones in the car, one or the other, and or you know that your license, excuse me, I got a big sty on my eye as well. If your licenses are not up to par, please, how about you just don't drive ignorantly? It's probably better for y'all if I take my glasses off. Um, Drive according to the law. You probably thought that the Popos 12, whatever you call them, police, La Policia was in the area and you got caught. You better have the GPS where it kind of tell you where the police at if you want to do that crazy type of stuff. Then now you put other people in danger and put their lives in danger because now you've run into a bus, you've hurt children, you possibly could have taken other lives unnecessarily. And what it thinks to me is you were driving in Blue Island and you were close to Chicago. So you said, maybe if I go out of their jurisdiction, I can outrun the police and they can't chase me anymore, or they won't have a chance to get Chicago police involved. And I guess that kind of backfired on you, sirs. Was it worth it is the only question. And if so far they haven't said that you have sticks and stones in the car, which we will find out maybe later if it's true. Really, was it worth it? If you just didn't have no insurance on your car or something, you could have went home or you could have bounded out and went home. So, well, if there's a follow-up to the story, we'll give a follow-up to this story. The next story is there's a 53-year-old man who was attacked, and I will not use the word unalive because it's just dumb to me. His life was taken, okay, into CTL L trains. All right, let's get back going here.
I'm Joni Lum. Back to you.
Joni, thank you.
One person is in custody after a fist fight on a very busy CTA platform that ended in the death of one man.
WGN's Brona Tumulty joins us from downtown with details. Brona.
Good evening. Police say a fight broke out on the overhead platform around 10:30 last night, and one of the men involved was rushed to the hospital but did not survive those injuries.
You can't live in fear, though. You know what I'm saying? You just can't.
This was the scene last night at Clark and Lake following a fist fight that turned deadly. We're told 2 men were arguing, and one of them, aged 56, took some blows to the head. He was rushed to Northwestern, but that trauma ultimately claimed his life as a suspect was taken into custody.
And I've experienced it throughout CT, and I've experienced a lot. I was there for 11 years. So, yeah, and honestly, it affects me too, you know, as a person.
This woman, named Sonia, says she used to work for CTA and crime has long been an issue.
We were trying our best to protect people that go through that kind of stuff, but it happens, especially here in the city of Chicago.
It depends the line to me, which train you're getting on. It can be hectic if you're on that red and blue line, but most part, like I say, the green line is pretty safe.
Marcus Russell telling us some lines feel safer than others. We took a look at some of the city data, which shows in the first half of this year, there have been more than 2,200 CTA-related crimes. Many of those are connected to things like theft, property damage, or drug possession, but the list shows at least 238 reported assaults, 642 battery cases, 220 cases.
There's so much lawsuits for assaults. It's scary out there.
but many feel like CTA gets a bad rap.
I feel like the CTA honestly provides accessibility. It's the American obesity epidemic. It just helps with environmental change too.
Juan Montes telling us he moved here from San Diego, sold his car, and is a huge advocate of the system.
This past year, there was talks about defunding the CTA, which I am totally against. The city of Chicago wouldn't be what it is without the CTA.
Now, we did reach out to CTA. They sent us a statement tonight saying CTA is working in close coordination with CPD to support their investigation, including reviewing and providing any relevant security camera footage. Any additional details regarding this matter will need to be provided by CPD. Now, again, please tell us one person is in custody tonight and charges are pending.
All right. I hope justice is served. On my timeline, like my Facebook and my Instagram timeline, and I do follow Chicago is Ghetto 1, 2, or 3, one of them, maybe all of them, and I can sometimes see some of the worst stories that you can find about Chicago culture and fighting and all of that. Something about the world now that everybody wants to fight. Again, fighting on a train, is it worth it? Oh yeah, you always gotta call them. It might be anything. I don't ride the train anymore. I just don't. And maybe I'm getting older. I get nervous. My daughter rides public transportation. I'm trying to get her to get a car. Here's the thing. I will ride it if I really have to or something's going on. When the DNC was here, they made sure that the trains were pristine. You didn't see any violence, any robberies or nothing. They had all the police all over the trains. They had all of the protection and everything. But soon as the DNC left, it just went back to normal. And I'm like, well, why can't they have some type of median as the protection for the people who actually live here, for the people who actually spend money on a consistent basis to ride public transportation? That is part of the reason why people won't ride public transportation, is because they feel unsafe. I'll ride an Uber. I'll ride the Metro. Okay. I'll ask for a ride. It's rare that I will ride the train, especially because I live on one of the worst, going east and west. I live on one of the worst bus rides in the city, at least on the south side. It could be fun, and when I was young, you could get away, but baby, I'm too old. I cannot run, and it'd be crackheads and doing all kind of crazy shit on the bus line. And I know those infamous stops, which you see a lot on the internet. I am on that route. I care not to be a part of that foolishness. And at any given time, I could be on my way to somewhere and a crackhead holding up the bus. I am late because of the shenanigans that goes on those bus routes. I have no time for it. And again, I'm too old. I can't do everything I used to do. So transportation is not the same. Now, if you're in the downtown area, it may not be as bad. Yeah, I'll get on those buses, but just arbitrarily getting on the bus. I've gotten on the bus even downtown when I was in school, and it smelled like piss. And that was around COVID. And I'm like, what are we doing here? So the city needs to do better about transportation. There is no reason why that man should have lost his life. If I'm somewhere on the bus, my head is on a swivel. I'm looking to where the people are to protect me. I'm also looking for where that blue button is to press in case of an emergency. I'm always somewhere adjacent to it, just in case somebody want to pop off. If the vibe is not right, I'm over there by K9. I'm over there by the train conductor to protect myself. Or I got something on me, okay? I don't have no sticks, and I definitely don't have stones, but that ain't protecting you, no way. If you don't know what stones is, it's drugs. But I don't carry sticks out in public. So, but I got something that'll jug you. I get somebody get you where you need to go. But it shouldn't be like that. if you're walking around somewhere. We should feel safe in our city. And so our tax dollars that they overcharge us for everything, it needs to go to protection and to doing better things. Okay, off the soapbox. Now we got some happy news, some little stuff going on. We got a new gorilla. Okay, down to the zoo. Okay, how about you? Brookfield Zoo welcomes a new gorilla.
Well, Brookfield Zoo has a new ape habitat for you and your family to check out this summer.
Joni is live at the zoo. Lucky Joni, how's it going this morning?
It's a great point of view. Let me tell you, we're at the Branson Tropical Forest in Brookfield Zoo. Years in the making, grand opening this weekend. We have Dr. Michael Atkinson, the president and CEO of Brookfield Zoo, with us. And we're standing right where you're going to have your big ceremony, but we've got a VIP here.
Yeah, we do. So Shango, one of our silverback male gorillas, is right here on the other side of this glass. It's just so amazing to be this close to these animals.
We are maybe less than a foot away from him.
Yeah. And, he's just having a nice little snooze here on the grass this morning, but that's really what we want. We want them to be so comfortable in these new naturalistic spaces, and they're just thriving in these environments, and it's just so magical to be able to get this close to them.
Oh, amazing, even if he is napping while we're trying to talk here. He has a brother who was out earlier too.
Yeah, so Barney right now I think has gone back into the overhead path. They're still getting used to the spaces, so we're still letting them kind of choose where they're at any given point. But really just a magnificent group of animals. And this bachelor group is new for us, so we've not had this all-male group before, but it's really a wonderful thing that we're able to do here. In the wild, these males would leave their family troop, set off on their own, sometimes buddy up with another male, and that's exactly what we're able to do with this group here.
It's like a thrill to watch him. He just rolled over and took a new position. I know we have some glare here from the glass, but it is the glass that gets you good and close. As you said, you could watch different dynamics of the bachelor group, and then you have other groups as well.
That's right. So we've got our family troop of gorillas that have been with us here for many, many years, and this is a chance for them to get to explore some wonderful new outdoor spaces.
You have grand opening activities all weekend. You're also about to welcome some visitors this morning.
That's right. So our ribbon cutting ceremony is this morning, and then we open to the public tomorrow. We've got a wonderful, fun weekend of activities, animal ambassadors, bounce houses, live music, really everything we can do to celebrate this really momentous occasion for the zoo.
It is a celebration. I'm so glad that Shango came out this morning. It must have had some breakfast. She had some stuff laying around for him.
That's right. So one of the fun things about these spaces too is that the animal care specialists are able to not only just put food throughout the spaces, but we've also got timed and triggered feeders throughout so that they pop food out at different points during the day. So it really simulates that natural foraging they would do in the wild, where they spend so much of their time going around looking for things to eat.
Natural environment, yet carefully watched by people who are trained to do this.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Great. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
It's our pleasure. A wonderful weekend ahead.
I got so much stuff going on. Like I would probably I haven't been to that zoo so long. I would love to go. I think Val and Roxanne went when Val came to visit, and go out there and then go get you some hot dogs from Gene and Jude. It's closer to the airport, exceptionally close to the airport, maybe about 15 minutes from the airport maximum out there at Brookfield Zoo. My question is, what if they want some coochie? Like, what they want a gorilla? Like, how long the man's got to be alone? I wouldn't mind going out there to see him. Look, it's summertime. Some of y'all might need to go have a family reunion. Go out there and see your relatives out there to Brookfield Zoo. Support them taking care of the animals, not exploiting the animals. Nevertheless, we're on to our next story. Chicago is the summertime shy is unmatched. We got something going on. It's so many things going on the weekends. I don't even want to be going out. I don't even have money to go out like that, but there's something to do on every corner of Chicago. And I mean like north, south, east, west this month and the next month. And there's no excuse not to go outside and have a good time because it doesn't cost to go everywhere. It's always something going on. So our next activity, if you can't before. Now, Brookfield Zoo, you got to pay to go in that zoo. That's the good thing. Here's another event that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Is the Windy City Smokeout. I'm gonna just go right to it. And it don't have nothing to do with reefers, y'all. It's food.
Well, some of the top country music artists and best pitmasters in the country, they're lighting up Chicago this weekend.
Gabriella Primus is live at the Windy City Smokeout, which is getting ready for its first night. Gabby, our mouth is watering here because we've seen some of the wonderful food.
I know.
There.
If only you guys could smell it. You know, in the 8 o'clock hour, Natalie was mentioning how she wanted to see some food. Well, I'm not just bringing it to you on a table. We're actually bringing you to the background so you can see all of how it's made. I'm with Max. Max, you are the person here who knows everything to know about food and what people come here for, really. So let's talk about what people can expect this year when it comes to barbecue, also when it comes to music.
Yeah, thank you. So Windy City Smokeout, we're in our 13th year. For me, it's the most fun weekend of the year. And it's not just if you love food, if you love music, it's good times. It's about Chicago. It's unbelievable. We've got 22 pitmasters here from around the country. They've all been awarded best in class in their state or in their area. We've got some of the biggest country artists. We've got pizza, we've got sausage, we've got popcorn, we've got ice cream for kids, anything in the world you could like. It's beautiful weather. It's Chicago summer at its best. You just really can't beat it.
So doors don't open until 2 o'clock, but they're already out here hard at work. It seems like not just Wright's Barbecue, but others as well.
Oh, yeah. We have people cooking all overnight. We have people starting at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Barbecue, they say low and slow. It's a labor of love. So people start all day, all night to make beautiful food that people can enjoy.
Do you find that some Chicagoans have a certain reaction to trying some of the barbecue from other parts of the country here?
You know, Chicago is a very proud city. We like our own, like try to put ketchup on a hot dog or something like that. It's crazy, right? But I think that Chicago is really receptive because as barbecue is growing, especially Texas barbecue, even a lot of Chicago barbecue restaurants are kind of growing and adapting and adding some of that style. Chicago's known in general as an adventurous culinary city. So I think that Chicagoans are taking to barbecue from around the country.
Okay, I love what I'm seeing behind us, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wright's Barbecue from Arkansas, great example, some of the best in the country.
You know what? We're going to have to talk to someone who's in charge of this operation here. I'm going to go over to Jordan. Jordan, I know you're hard at work, so I'm going to squeeze in. All the way from Arkansas, and you said you've been here for a few years. How does it feel to be back at Windy City Smokeout?
Oh, it's awesome honor. We get pumped every year. We get invited. We're excited. Our team loves coming up and getting to join in the camaraderie, get to come up to what I think is one of the great culinary cities. Obviously, I think everybody does, but just get to bring the team up and go have fun and cook for a bunch of people that some we know now after 4 years of doing it. You know, we get great feedback and people love it.
Okay, let's talk about what's on the grill right now. How do you guys make this a little bit different than just a regular rack of ribs?
Well, so this is a beef rib. This is a Texas-style beef rib. It's a short rib. It's monster bones. You're going to see a bunch of draw from the meat, and it just gets this great, meaty, rich bite. It's like eating a ribeye, but like slow smoked and just delicious. It's perfectly marbled. And so it's just one of the best bites in barbecue, it really is. You just dive into this giant dino bone. So yeah, it's awesome.
How much would it mean to you to see everyone will get the extra tickets that are still available for today and tomorrow and come over to Wright's Barbecue?
Oh, yeah, we love it, man. We have a great group. There's a lot of Chicagoans that have transplanted from Arkansas up here. So we've got a lot of good relationships, a lot of friends. But then, you know, all the new people, the Blackhawks fans, the Cubs fans that come out. I mean, we love the Cubs and the Blackhawks. So it's a lot of fun just to see the kind of the vibes here and just get to meet everybody.
Okay, it's fresh and it's going to be ready a little bit later. Thank you so much, Jordan and Max, for having us. Like I said, there's only some tickets available for today and for tomorrow for Windy City Smokeout. Saturday and Sunday are sold out. But that means that next year you're just going to have to get on it ahead of time. Guys, I don't have anything to try on camera right now, so I'm just going to have to pick out off camera, I guess. So
I don't blame you.
Maybe I'll bring you some. I don't know. I'm going to decide.
No, remember yesterday?
It depends if I eat all these ribs or if I don't.
We never got any boots or hats. Now she's got the barbecue. We're not seeing any of that yet. We know how you roll, Primus.
Hey, come out here, Mike. Come out here, Mike. Come on.
And I'm hungry too. Oh, child. And you got to buy a ticket to do it. So if you don't already have your tickets, try to get a ticket tomorrow. I missed. That's why I'm about to try. Y'all work with me here. Follow me, help me, support me. I want to get a house or somewhere with my own yard again. Um, because the last place I was at, I had my own yard. And if you know how to barbecue, you know that it is low and slow. And I could just, ooh, Roxy, that's on your side of town. Give me just, find somebody to get me a slab. If you're watching, you're on my Facebook page, you're out there, somebody, I'm hungry. Give me some ribs because I know there are some good ribs. Some Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi ribs. Before I was on YouTube or started doing this, that is one thing I love to watch is like the barbecue shows and the grill off shows and Jack Mixon and all those people that would compete to grill. And I've been grilling since I was about 15, 16 years old. And through the years, I've developed my own style or my own type of flavoring. It depends on what type of ribs I'm cooking. And I'm even still now taking new techniques. The young man I was with, he gave me good techniques on how to cook some things. And I just love some good barbecue. I'm from the south side of Chicago. My mama grew me up on eating some good barbecue. You ain't bring us none. And so, yes, and the time is going to be had. They're going to have all that country music and those live bands out there. It's a concert on top of it being a barbecue fiesta festival. So it's a good combination. They got cabanas and different places, and they're going to be drinking a lot of beer, and they're going to have a good time. I hope we don't hear no violence. I'll never hear no violence over there. So if they can do it, so can we. Okay? Learn to be better. Learn to be better. Okay, our next story, our final story for the local news is a tribute. We have lost one of the great ones down to the ship, Dr. Ludella Evans Reed. We were aware that she was in her last days, and so they're doing a tribute down to the Chicago Gospel Festival, which is also this weekend. All right, so let's go and see what that's all about.
Chicago is widely considered the birthplace of gospel music.
Several gospel icons will be taking the stage at Chicago's Gospel Music Festival this Saturday. Our Nate Rogers has more, along with a very special honor for a local legendary choir master.
There's a running joke that on nearly every corner in Chicago, you can find a church, whether on the south side, the west side, or right here in the suburbs. Gospel music is what Chicago does in excellence. Soaring sopranos, belting altos, and soulful tenors. Archbishop William Hudson's Powerhouse in Posen is among the city's favorite singing aggregations. Said we're the best.
They talk about these other cities, but no one is like Chicago. No one has the music like Chicago has.
It's tambourine playing, hand clapping, and what church people call a big old praise party. Chicago's Gospel Fest back this weekend. Grammy Award winner Chandler Moore and Jacqueline Carr headlining. Also the Unity Choir, including 10 of the best church choirs in town.
People that never heard gospel, when they hear it, it has a sound that makes a difference.
The fest comes following the deaths of two Chicago gospel greats, director Steve Puff Jones.
Puff was one of the greatest singers here in Chicago, would always give his all. He could go high and go low.
Also, choir master icon Dr. Ludella Evans Reed, who we spoke to exclusively just 6 weeks ago.
I gave it all I had. I want to lift up God, build up God. I ain't trying to build my name up, but build God's name up.
A female choir directress who set the standard, showed us how to do it, showed us how to do it the right way.
Janet Harris Sutton began directing the church choir at 8 years old. Her choir, Acme in Auburn Gresham, is award-winning. She tells me Gospel Fest is the place to be.
We should bring our children, bring our family. And I'm telling you, we're Pastor DeAndre Patterson and myself, it's Unity Choir, or we're going to make it do what it do.
And again, Gospel Fest is this coming Saturday from 12 noon until 9 p.m. downtown at Millennium Park, and it's all free. That's the latest reporter. Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
The day's growing shorter and
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to go on to the next one. A time will be had. I might just have to see if I get a special ticket, go down, ride the metro. Okay. Because it lets off right up there. And I do a little bit of walking. But I know it's going to be crowded. The Ship. I might have to go to church on Sunday, but it's going to be wall-to-wall people, honey. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Look, they have it on video and stuff too. I'm gonna have to get in the group chats as well because my former choir director is a member, was directly under Ludella Evans Reed. I have had the honor of being directed by Mother Ludella. She directed till I think that was just a couple years ago. This was after COVID. So she kept going till she couldn't go no more. And baby, when I say that she don't play no games in Chicago Mass Choir, and I have friends that are in that choir, that's the choir under her direction, and then the people over at the fellowship, you members of the fellowship, I would like to know who are these 10 churches, because I know that it is going down this weekend. I am looking at the schedule. Now, Gospel Fest used to be a couple of days, not no one day. So that's interesting that they're saying that, okay, it starts at 7:50 to 9 p.m. What is this? This is like crazy. Is it today? It's got to be today. The schedule what's it, 7:50 to 9 p.m. And then the Unity Choir from 5:40. This is like all out of order. 6:30 to 7:30, Jacqueline Carr. 5:40 to 6:10. That would be like right now. Janet Sutton presents the Chicago Unity Choir. 4:50 to 5:20, Little Harry presents the quartet. From 4 to 4:30, Ray Beatty and Queenie presents Chicago Youth United, featuring Chicago's top youth performers. Oh, it's backwards. I don't know why. Okay, and at Cloudgate. So that's the bean. The Cloudgate is the actual name of the bean. Gospel DJ Sam Williams, noon to 3:45. Open in between artists and close Inspiration 1390. Live broadcast from 1 to 4. Noon to 12:30, Sam Williams. 12:30 to 1, Bishop Ron Woods and A-Hop. Is that Acme House of Prayer? 1 to 1:30, Eric Kirk and True Worship. 1:30 to 2, Amethyst. From 2 to 2:45 p.m., Adrian B. King and Reverence. 2:45 to 3 p.m., Dexter Walker and Zion Movement. Now, I just put them, if you on my Instagram, and I need to put more of this on YouTube, but that's a music thing, so I might put it on TikTok. Start following me on TikTok. I just saw them at the, what is that? The Juneteenth at the DeSable Museum. So 3:30 to 3:45, DJ Sam Williams, and then I guess it's backwards. Then it'll start going Ray Beatty, then Little Harry. DeAndre Patterson is at 5:40. So that's the time you need to be there. So you really need to be there about 3:45 so you can get in the gate to go sit down. So they'll be at the main stage. Okay. So that's all we have for Chicago news. We did pretty good with that. So we're going to hurry up and just go on to the next set of things, and that is
Worldwide and national news.
Again, I want to thank everybody that's here. While you're here, I hope that you've pressed the like button. That is a free way to support the channel. Also, subscribing to the channel and sharing. That is a way to support a Black woman business. Get your DEI on, as they like to say. Include me in what you're doing. I appreciate everybody that's coming here as I'm slowly making my way back to YouTube. I'm trying to get in the algorithm so we can grow. It can be seen. I appreciate that. I also would appreciate if you can fund the channel. If you could send a super chat, a cash app, Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card, PayPal, and Venmo. We accept it all over here. If you would like to follow me, another free way to support me is I'm going to have to add the TikTok on here, but it is on my banner. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Email me if you need to reach out to me, and also that is the Cash App. I thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time here, my name is Princess A.V, and you are in the House of the Princess. And this is our 50-50 news, where you get 100% news with a twist of a ratchet. I have a plethora of different type of content on this channel, but I do feel that our people need some real things in their life, okay? Sometimes we need to know what's going on, and we can't always just be messy, okay? And even, with the news, I get a little bit of messy. So I appreciate you being here again. Hit the like button, feel comfortable, talk in the chat, and let's get it going. We're now in the world and national news. The first thing, a short clip, is July 9th, which was yesterday, was like the shortest day of the year. So let's talk about that really, really quick. And I do mean really quick.
Not just because we're past the summer solstice. Ooh. Scientists say something strange is happening.
Let's rewind. Let's start that again. There we go.
The days growing shorter, and not just because we're past the summer solstice. Ooh. Scientists say something strange is happening with the Earth's rotation, and Sam Champion has entered our orbit with more.
I like all the references, Will. It was very sciencey to begin. Good morning. Is it just me, or is the Earth spinning a little faster? Now, I'll complain about anything. You can't actually feel it, but scientists and NASA scientists say this is really happening. Yesterday was one of the shortest days on record. The gravitational pull between the Earth and the moon made it a little more than a millisecond shorter. Now, it usually takes, and you count these out, so you know, 86,400 seconds, which is 24 hours, for the Earth to make one full rotation on its axis. But yesterday, our speedy little planet completed its cosmic twirl, if you will, about 1.3 milliseconds quicker. Now, just to give you an idea, it takes about 100 milliseconds to blink your eye. So yeah, no, we didn't feel it. But many things affect the speed of the Earth's rotation. Earthquakes, melting glaciers can shorten our days, but it's most likely this happened because of the angle of the moon relative to the Earth. You see, the sharper the angle, because we are on a tilt, the Earth's axis is, it sets us spinning a little faster. The same moon pattern sets up again on July 22nd and August 5th. So experts say the days will again be just about a millisecond shorter. So mark your old paper calendars and adjust your speedy atomic clocks accordingly. You know, we'll be saying time is flying. And it really is.
I'm surprised you didn't bring out some Carole King. I feel the earth move under my feet.
Under my feet, also good.
Thank you, Sam.
All right.
And I do have a paper calendar is right by me over to my right. I keep, and I do mark it off and look for things. I got multiple. I got a paper calendar for the school holidays, and then I got a paper calendar with the months of the year, as well as technically. We can't lean on technology all the time. Okay. So the next thing we'll be talking about is the Texas flood, as you can see. Those you don't know, actually during my last newscast, the flooding was happening. There has been a massive flood down in Texas, where a lot of people have lost their lives, and they're still looking for individuals. So let's just look at the details of that unfortunate incident.
We have spotters on the ground. So as this material is being removed, we are looking for anything of a sign of a person that may be within this material.
Kerrville first responders know people want to help, but they're urging people to avoid debris piles as search crews continue their recovery efforts. The primary focus is searching the more than 200 miles along the Guadalupe River from the town of Hunt down to the inlet of Canyon Lake, a search that continues. And today we learned 161 people still have not been found. And now the number of people who died is up to 96 in Kerr County, 60 adults and 36 children. Many of the deaths from Mystic, which was along the Guadalupe River. But there are many more camps in the area. I spoke with some local Austinites who, along with volunteers from all over the state and country, have stepped up to help search for those who are still missing. Searching high and low. Volunteers and first responders are working around the clock. Austin musician Drew Fish and his brother-in-law, Chris Carson, have been in Kerr County for days.
And after seeing the tragedy that happened and all the devastation that's going on down here, figured I'd come down and see what I could do that can help.
Every object here carries an untold story. There are shoes, clothes, vehicles, and parts of homes. The latest numbers in Kerr County show more than 160 people still missing.
What really brings me out here is to help out the community and just try to bring closure to the victims that are still out there, still lost.
This crew has been all over. Camp La Junta, a camp just down the river from Mystic, just one of their many camp stops, as there are many along the river.
We did a lot of debris clearing, a lot of getting rid of trash that had been built up on their property.
There's a bunch of different things that need to be done.
Walker and Wade Moran, brothers from Austin. They showed up to help as well, helping at La Junta, then at Camp, which is a place for kids with special needs.
And they're trying to open up their camp, so we saw just a bunch of different people from all walks of life showing up and just doing whatever is necessary to help these people out.
And we're walking up and down the river, just searching for things that might have been missed by other teams.
This group just one of many trying to help.
If there's any organizations that you know that are operating down here, reach out to them and see what they need.
Needs that will continue as the weeks and months go by.
Like everybody's out here putting in time, putting in work, trying to help the community however they can.
In Kerr County, Nabil Ramadna, KXAN News. And if you'd like to help, we have a full list of places to donate. That's over on KXAN.com. Also, it's important to check in if you're volunteering. The group we just told you about reached out to a local fire department and got approved before heading down.
I do not endorse any type of organization, especially when it comes to things like that. It's very few and far between because you don't know who's taking money, who's not doing things. Like, I don't know who is who, and I'm not down there with my boots on the ground. The only thing I can offer at this time is help. If you're one of the people that watch and one of the constituents that is on a channel, please let us know. We help people directly. All I can say is prayers. I do have some other videos that I didn't deem it inappropriate for this type of segment. Because there's a lot of controversy around this as well. I said I would talk about it on I Know You Lying. So I will keep that separate. I still want to be sensitive to the people that are homeless now because of this, that are traumatized because of this, people that have lost their lives because of this, or people who are lying in wait to see if their relatives are still alive because of this. So I am sensitive to that, and it's just an unfortunate situation. Again, prayers are up to these people. Next, we have a lawsuit, again, to the government about birthright citizenship. And if your baby is born in America, they are Americans, even if they're from immigrants.
Babies born to immigrants on American soil this year, they're going to be citizens. That is the latest from a federal judge in New Hampshire after challenges to the Donald Trump White House policy to end birthright citizenship in this country went up and down, wound their way through the court system. The challenge was back in a New Hampshire court. And as of Thursday, a federal judge said it's not even a close call. He's going to put a stop to the Trump policy of ending birthright citizenship. What the judge did specifically is said that any babies that are being born after February 20th of this year, 2025, and babies that aren't yet born, they're going to be getting birthright citizenship. The Trump administration policy, according to this judge, is not legal, but there's going to be more appeals. Of course, in this case, it's something that we keep expecting. So we're going to be seeing a lot more action in court until there's an ultimate decision on whether the Trump policy of ending birthright citizenship, that immigration policy, is it constitutional?
And as the U.S. pushes for increased peace talk.
Child, what's going on here?
Babies born to immigrants.
That's not what I told you to do. Y'all just doing whatever the hell you want to do. This is always alarming when you look into the letter of the law and the way it's written. Even birthright citizenship, nobody over here other than a Native American is an actual American. I was watching the History Channel earlier this week and around the holiday, and it was a story about Sitting Bull, and I recorded it. I need to watch all of it. But it was just the audacity of Americans extending American citizenships to Native Americans when this is their country. This is their land. It's not their country because they didn't come up with this bullshit. This is their land. And these Europeans, these colonizers came over here and took the land, right? And then said, oh, and we'll give you citizenship, right? It's just, oops, I gotta go to a party tonight. I didn't even realize that. That's like in a half hour. Glad I clicked on it. I need to put some clothes on. Anywho, the audacity to talk to them and say, oh, we'll allow you to come in to this land and be a part of us. This is the same thing. Black Americans were not born here. I'm a citizen because a slave had my great grandfather, and we were 3/5 of a person. So do we have birthright citizenship? Is it the same thing? Can they just say, hey, you can get the hell on out of here too? And so that has always alarmed me when we talked about birthright citizenship. The Anglo-Saxons don't belong here because this is not their land. They are British. Go back over there. You're an immigrant too. If your people are German, they are from Germany. You are an immigrant too. If your people are from Poland, take your Polish ass back over there. You are an immigrant too. Who sets the right to say this belongs to you? That you have birthright citizenship. It's hypocrisy. But I digress. The next story is, Orange 4547 is into it with Putin, when he gets, I'm supposed to say it the right way. Okay. Orange 4547 is threatening sanctions on Russia if Putin doesn't do his bidding. Let's hear the story.
And as the U.S. pushes for increased peace talks, President Trump is threatening to impose hefty new sanctions on Russia. Joining us now from Capitol Hill for more on this is CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, very good to see you. Congress has been working on a bipartisan bill that would heavily sanction Russia. Where do things stand on that front?
Yeah, Nancy, Congress has had this bill ready to go, and they are just essentially waiting for the president to press the go button. Nancy, I can tell you, covering Capitol Hill, there is rarely an issue where you can get bipartisan support, let alone a vast majority of the upper chamber on board for one specific bill. But that's the case on this Russia sanctions bill. It would essentially squeeze India and China and put sanctions on their ability to buy Russian oil. So that way it would squeeze Russia. This has been the kind of the brainchild of Lindsey Graham, working on it with Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat. Lindsey Graham told us just yesterday he has been in constant contact with the administration, with the president himself, talking him through this piece of legislation. And what the sticking point has been is that the president wants some leverage here and some latitude here. And so they have included language in the bill to give him some more leverage, to give him an opportunity to waive these sanctions if Russia does indeed come on board to some kind of agreement. It gives the president that flexibility. And that's something that they've been ironing out. But Nancy, this has about 80 senators signed on to this. I mean, that is just huge bipartisan support. And the majority leader, John Thune, on the Senate side said they're ready to go with this by the end of the month, before summer recess. They're ready to go. They just need to coordinate with the president. Now, you may ask, well, why can't they just go ahead if they've got the bill ready to go and press these sanctions? But it is a delicate balance here because Republicans on Capitol Hill wanted to give the president some leeway, some time to figure this out with Putin. Then they kind of seized on Trump's comments a few days ago when he said that Putin essentially has been BSing him, modifying the way he actually used that word. And that kind of gave them up here on Capitol Hill the impetus to say, okay, let's go with this sanctions bill. So they're ironing it out. There are questions about when this will actually go forward, but there's a lot of confidence here, at least on the Senate side, that they want to move forward.
We know you'll be staying on top of all of it throughout the process. Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Trump administration has sent letters to...
Jeez. I'm tired of these people. I am. I don't have much to say about it. Trump and Putin keep going back and forth. They're in each other's pockets, in each other's pants, and in bed with each other. He want to be like Putin so bad. But Russians and Americans are not the same thing. You might have American Russians, and you might have Russians in America, and America in Russia, but Russians and Americans are not the same. And I don't even think they might have chose that for themselves. I could be wrong. Got to dig a little deeper in my history book, but this ain't that. Know that. Next story is 4547 is about to put some tariffs on Brazil. His favorite word of the year is tariffs. This is only the 7th month. This is the number of completion. And he is not completed in nothing. Okay. Here we go.
The Trump administration has sent letters to several more countries announcing tariff rates, while the majority are for trade disparities. The letter sent to Brazil had a different rationale. President Trump accused Brazil's government of subjecting the country's former president to a witch hunt, demanding it end immediately. Jair Bolsonaro, you'll recall, is facing charges that he tried to overturn the recent election that he lost. Does that sound familiar? Joining me now in Studio 55 is CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right, so how's Brazil responding thus far, and what kind of ripple effects could we see from this?
So as expected, Brazil has said, we're going to reciprocate. I think that's maybe a lighter word than retaliate. But what's interesting here is what sort of the ripple effects are. You think about the products that we get from Brazil.
Yeah.
Fuel is a big one. Of course, we can get fuel from other places, including the U.S. Machinery, plastics, rubber, inputs, not necessarily things that you and I are going to go out and buy at the store, but very important components to different products that manufacturing companies might make. And then the other big one that I think comes to everyone's mind, and I had 2 cups of this morning, coffee. Right? Brazil is a huge producer of coffee. Yes, Vietnam, other places do as well. That's the piece of it. You could see higher coffee prices, higher prices. The other thing, though, is think about what we sell to them. We actually have a trade surplus with Brazil, which is why when the president said our unfair trade relationship with them, I was like, wait, I have to go back and check this.
Check back your Econ 101 book.
In 2024, we sold more to them than they sold to us. And so now if you have Brazil retaliate, you're going to have those businesses have a harder time selling into those markets. So it's not just about what we pay, but also what those businesses might lose out on.
So this tariff, the way I understand it, is just retaliatory for a political reason, not for an economic one, right? And
when you actually look at the trade surplus, maybe Brazil has other economic barriers against U.S. businesses, but when you look at the hard math, we have a trade surplus.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So the other thing that we also have some new insight into is how concerned some members of the Federal Reserve are about the president's tariffs. It's just, and, as you know, and I'm surprised you're not even there in Sun Valley, like where all these CEOs are hanging out. I think that they thought before the election that there would be fewer regulations and business would be booming, right? Instead, that may be true. There may be fewer regulations, but these tariffs are sort of hampering the kind of deal making that happens at Sun Valley. What are we learning about how the Fed is feeling around this?
So this is interesting. We got the Fed minutes. Basically, for those that aren't a nerd like me, this is the transcript of everything that they talked about in that meeting last month. And what we're hearing from them is there's actually a wide range of how these different governors feel about interest rates. Some think we're going to get 2, some think we're going to get 1 this year, or cuts, I mean. Some think that we're going to get 0. So you think about now businesses, investment, that booming piece of it, they're trying to plan, when is it going to be less expensive for me to borrow money and invest that back into my business? Now you're hearing from the Fed, wow, we might get no interest rate cuts. We might get 2. It's really, really hard to plan.
Wow, very interesting. Kelly, always great to have you. Thank you very much.
So now he's finna send another country into I don't give a F type of situation with America. We need them more than they need us, basically. Yes, you are catching the live. They're not getting a reciprocal relationship from us. These people drink coffee. Like, people can't live without their coffee. Of course, there are plenty of places to get coffee, as she said, at Brazil and Colombian coffee, but he's into it with everybody, and this does not hurt him. He can send a plane to go get what he wants with no duties, okay? No taxes. He does what the hell he wants to do at our expense. I digress. You know how I feel about these people. And y'all just know a piece of what I feel about these people, but we're going to keep going so we can wrap it up. We're doing pretty good as far as time, and we are pretty far along in the show. Hit the like button while you're there. Our next one is there is an outbreak of the measles. Let's see what they have to say down to the medical dispatcheries.
Measles is a highly contagious respiratory virus that has plagued humans for an eternity. But with the advent in 1964 of very effective vaccines, we saw a decline across the world and in particular in the United States, to the point that by the year 2000, we declared measles eliminated, which means cases will not keep propagating through the population. It continues to be eliminated, but that doesn't mean that we don't have big outbreaks and cases that keep going. For example, in 2019, we had a large outbreak in New York that was over 1,200 cases, and we came very close with that outbreak to losing elimination. The rule is that you have to have a continuous chain of transmission that extends past a year or 52 weeks. And so right now we're about halfway there from January 20th or thereabouts until present day. The question is, do we contain this, or is it kind of already out of the bottle here? My fear right now is over the last 5 years, we've seen the public health system in this country really degraded. Throughout COVID and more recently, through some decisions being made federally to reduce funding and capacity. It really is made more difficult when you don't have an intact public health system, when you don't have a population that believes in evidence-based science and is racked with concerns about conspiracy, and you have people who basically profiteer off misinformation. All of us are kind of there pulling for our patients, for our communities, for our populations. And when we have tools that can really be helpful and see that they're discarded for no good reason, it's met with a little bit of melancholy on our part.
As we mentioned earlier, President Trump.
I don't have much to say about that. I just want to put the information out there, that it's on an all-time high. Some people I know, and you have your right, even though we think that we don't, it's presented up to us is that we don't. You have a right to vaccinate or not to vaccinate, you or your children. As they said, all it is herd immunity. That's all it is. Are you exposed to it? Are you not? And if you are, take the proper steps to protect yourself and the people around you. So I just want to let you know that it's out there again. Be careful what you touch, who you're around, where you go, all that good stuff. So our next story is, this is an interesting story. We all know that the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill, was signed into action a few days ago. And so this is a story about the Medicaid work requirements of the Big Beautiful Bill. I'm just going to let it speak for itself.
As we mentioned earlier, President Trump is expected to sign his signature domestic policy package into law today. It includes new spending, but also new cuts and changes to programs like Medicaid. Many who are enrolled in Medicaid will soon be required by the new law to prove every month that they work, study, or volunteer 80 hours a month. By one estimate, 92% of Americans under 65 who are enrolled in Medicaid are already working. One Missouri mom whose adult son requires round-the-clock care is worried his Medicaid coverage could soon be lost. My NBC News Daily co-anchor and correspondent Zincle Asamoah sat down with her.
For Kimberly Gallagher, the loss of her husband to cancer 6 years ago also meant the loss of her private insurance. It's health care she desperately needs to care for her son Daniel in Kansas City, Missouri. He's had a rare genetic condition since birth.
Well, Daniel's a little different than the typical person with Prader-Willi syndrome. He's lower functioning and he's nonverbal because of the autism.
Daniel is now 31. What does his care look like day to day now?
He requires total care.
Gallagher is enrolled in Medicaid, but new work requirements and President Trump's newly passed One Big Beautiful Bill Act put her at risk of losing that coverage.
You supported President Trump, and this policy has been spearheaded by him. I wonder if it matches what you were expecting or what your hope is moving forward.
No, it doesn't match. But again, I still have the part of me that wonders if somewhere in that 200 and some odd pages, if there's something that I'm missing that will still protect us.
Around 18.5 million Americans will now be required to prove they work, study, or volunteer no less than 80 hours a month, with some exceptions, according to the Congressional Budget Office.
What's the problem with trying to verify individuals when it comes to their work status, employment status?
I was on the ground in Arkansas when the state tried requirements just like this in 2018. And we saw working people, disabled people, caregivers, all of them getting cut off the program left and right.
The idea of work requirements for Medicaid is not new. In 2023, Georgia introduced similar parameters still in place. And in 2018, Arkansas did the same. Former legal aid attorney Kevin DeLeban filed a suit against Arkansas's Medicaid changes, a federal judge and then the Biden administration ultimately blocking the work requirements. More than 18,000 people lost coverage in that state.
Imagine getting a 10-page letter today that says something that you barely understand. right? Because it sounds like you might be eligible, but you might not be eligible and you're not sure. You're buried under an avalanche of paperwork, red tape, hoops to jump through.
The work requirement change could have a major cost-cutting effect, with $325 billion worth of savings estimated by the Congressional Budget Office.
When you're talking about Medicaid, we need to make sure the program is sustained for the people it's intended for. That's, the elderly, the disabled, young pregnant mothers down on the luck.
Now families like the Gallaghers say they're in limbo. In 2019, Gallagher relinquished custody of her son so she could get paid by the state of Missouri to be his full-time caregiver, a provision under Missouri state law.
Just the act of going into court and, declaring that you're giving up your son. And I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Today, she fears she'll lose even more.
This bill is set to be signed by President Trump today.
Yes.
In the Oval Office. You've supported him in the past. If you could talk to him right now, what would you say?
I want to know what he was thinking. The politicians say that Medicaid is not going to be affected except for the people who, supposedly are cheating the system. And it's not supposed to affect the disabled. And so I just want some more guarantees.
The family seeking certainty as the health coverage they rely on is set to change.
Zinkley Asamoah there. Zinkley, thank you. That story, by the way, was produced in collaboration with our partner, KFF Health News.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube.
Y'all asked for this.
I want to thank Los Tres de la...
Y'all asked for this. That man told you everything that he wanted to do. And he put it on paper. And we begged y'all not to put that man back up in office. He gave you a taste and he set it up the last time his ass was here. If he hadn't have lost that first time, which was y'all saving grace, we would have been knee deep in the shit now. Like on was it Tales from the Hood? Knee deep in the shit. That's what y'all asked for. That's what y'all asked for. Y'all asked for. I know she's not Latin, but it's all the same. Oh, yeah. It's your theme song. Okay, and lastly, in our world news, now we don't have to wear no shoes down to the TSA.
Major changes are coming the next time you fly.
Nate Rogers explains what you need to know and when the changes go into effect. Nate.
Absolutely, Dawn and Scott. I tell you, this was big news, big unexpected news for many travelers here at Midway Airport. Even when we reached out to the Chicago Department of Aviation, they were still waiting on directives from federal authorities. The new chute policy expected to expedite operations at all airports nationwide.
They
they didn't have pre-check, so I waited with them and then take my shoes off.
But not anymore. Effective immediately nationwide.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem saying the goal is to improve the traveling experience while maintaining safety standards.
It's good. I think I don't want to be barefooted walking on a dirty floor. Come on now.
I think it's great. I honestly have TSA PreCheck. I've had it for a few years, and it's made travel much easier for myself. It goes quick.
Travelers walking through metal detectors shoeless has been in effect 20 years here in the U.S. after an attempted terrorist attack in 2001. A man hiding explosives in his shoes aboard a plane from Paris to Miami. Officials say security technology has evolved since. There's one less thing that we have to do.
It is. However, I feel like unless they have the other things done within reasonable time correctly, you're still spending time.
Reportedly, airports in Baltimore, Fort Lauderdale, Cincinnati, Portland, Philly, and North Carolina had already rolled out the new policy ahead of today's announcement.
So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes. If we think there's additional layers of screening that is necessary, that may still happen to an individual.
And again, unless you have pre-check, you'll still have to remove your belt, also your computer and other electronic devices from your carry-ons. Again, the new shoe policy goes into effect immediately nationwide. That's the latest here at Midway Airport. Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
On Wednesday, Hollywood lost.
Why are you like 3 seconds too late from what I tell you to do? Anywho, they done made us get our real IDs. So it's some other stuff going on with that. 20 years of shoes on, shoes off. They're going to tell you, yeah, you take your panties off. So just be on the lookout. I don't trust the government too much with the things that they say. It's one less thing, but if I still got to get undressed anyway and you're going to look under my wig and all of the things, then what does it matter? So that was our last story in national world news. Again, I thank you guys for coming. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. You have been watching 50/50 News here with your host, Princess A.V., down to the House of the Princess. I appreciate it if you support the channel. Please press the like button, subscribe, share it, tell some other people that I'm here so I can get back in the algorithm, so I can have a good amount of people down on the in the audience and in the comments like I used to. I appreciate everybody that's here, each and every one of you. Also, if you want to support the channel, getting a membership, that helps support the channel in an extensive way. I appreciate you all. Okay. And we're going to do some things. I do have a, somebody said, what is, I know you laugh. Okay, we'll talk about it later. I have a poll going on. If you want me to come back and do some I Know You Lying news. Now, the time might be kind of sketchy because I just realized that I got somewhere to go and I didn't think I did. I've been in the house all day. I even canceled doing something else because I haven't felt my best, but I probably need some good old fresh air today. So next we have our, what are we on? Celebrity news. Celebrity and entertainment news as we wind down towards the end of our newscast. Again, I appreciate you all for coming. First, we're going to talk about the death of Julian McMahon, beloved actor and young star. She said, "Oh, I know you lying." Was that what you said? What is it?
Actor Julian McMahon. And here's the very latest on his story, Scott.
Yeah, Mario, it's really very sad. Julian passed away after a private cancer battle. He was just 56 years old. His wife, Kelly, said in a statement, Julian loved life. He loved his family, he loved his friends, he loved his work, and he loved his fans. And so now we're going to look back at our special times with Julian, who gained fame on the series Charmed, of course, but then became a household name on Nip Tuck.
I really need to make sure that I'm putting in more than 100% every day and doing the best I can.
Say it.
Tell me what you don't like about yourself.
That's the line that made the controversial medical drama Nip Tuck a hit show.
These April Marys.
And it starred Julian McMahon, an instant sensation, playing the role of plastic surgeon Christian Troy.
When you stop striving for perfection, you might as well be dead.
This has been a fantastic year. Like past year for me, it's really been quite extraordinary.
We were backstage with the excited cast in 2005 after the FX show won a Golden Globe Award.
The great part about this whole thing is it's really kind of been the evolution of a network.
This is Hollywood, and we're going to show you our sets today, so come with us.
We're going to give you full access.
And Access was on the Nip Tuck set numerous times over its 6-season run, where the charismatic Julian was always a standout.
Don't go there! This is one of our patients.
I just did a scene where I was dropping fat from somebody's liposuction. It's lucky I'm wearing this, or maybe it's not so lucky because it's not going to, but I get a little queasy.
Julian moved onto the big screen in 2005, starring in 2 Fantastic Four films, playing the evil Dr. Doom.
I think I'll get a second opinion.
The last time Julian visited us at Access was in 2014 with his wife Kelly, who wrote a children's book about Julian's relationship with his daughter Madison, who at the time was 14.
We started this routine when she was about 3 or 4 years old. Every night I would specifically spend an hour before she went to bed with her, no matter what I was doing. Now she's 14 and still we have the same routine.
Well, he will definitely be missed for sure, but you got to spend a lot of time with him on set, right?
Yeah, we worked together on Nip Tuck. We both played plastic surgeons, and there I am performing liposuction on him. Very first scene, though, I'll never forget, we were actually taking a shower together, so we got chummy real quick.
Oh, what's closer than close? I mean,
yes,
I get it.
Yes, great guy. God bless his family right now.
All right, yes, God bless his family. Nobody wants to talk about a person losing their life before they get old in age, but this is why we must make sure that we take every day seriously and don't take life for granted. A lot of the things, especially here on YouTube, this silly stuff, it's not worth it tomorrow. It's not promised to you. And then he knew that he had a terminal illness. So I pray that everyone was able to say their last words and that he went in peace. So our next story, I put it in entertainment because it was half local, half entertainment. It's about life, okay, in your old age. This 96-year-old woman continues to go viral for just being sassy and being herself. So let's talk about her story and also how she overcame terminal illness.
I saw it on social media, believe it or not, and then I found out she was from here, and I said, oh, we got to get her on the news. Born and raised in Evanston, Barbara Boyd came into the world when gas was just 21 cents a gallon. The former journalist is back in the spotlight after trending all over social media.
I can't get her out of these heels. 96 years old.
Okay, those are high heels, too. Miss Boyd still wears her high heels, drives, dances, and models. Boyd just celebrated her birthday this past April. She's a mom of 3, was married for 50 years until her husband, Ted, passed away. Born in Evanston, she eventually found her way to Indianapolis, where she became a consumer news reporter without a college degree or formal training in journalism. Over the years, she's interviewed big names like Betty Ford and Oprah Winfrey, but she says the most meaningful story she ever told was her own. In the 70s, Boyd shared her battle with breast cancer from a hospital bed just days after undergoing a double mastectomy. She retired from WRTV Channel 6 in Indianapolis as a news anchor more than 25 years ago. But Boyd is once again capturing hearts on social media. Videos of her are viral and fans are captivated by her youthfulness.
I'm just sitting there looking cute. I just done a fashion show. I'm supposed to look cute, right? But I think what made it go viral, the fact that I'm 96 years old and I'm still very active. People often tell me, boy, if I could do the same things that you're doing, I'd be happy because I do a lot of things. I exercise, I walk, I dance, I got a boyfriend. The one story that still walks around in Indianapolis is when I did a story on my own mastectomy in the 70s. The nurse is showing me the prostheses, the different shapes and sizes and everything. And so I said, cool. Honey, after that story, but wait a minute. Number one, you don't get any more than 2-3 minutes on the air. At least we don't hear. That story was 7 minutes long. Nobody stopped it when we wrote. Matter of fact, the story was late and he put me on the tail end of the news that night. The phones lit up after that story.
You all laughed when she says she has a boyfriend, but yes, she has a man. Boyd still volunteers on a regular basis. She's received awards from her alma mater, Evanston Township High School, citations from the state of Indiana, and 2 Sagamore of the Wabash Awards from Indiana's governor, just to name a few of her awards. Boyd's mom lived to be 103 years old, so she says she believes this runs in her family, being youthful.
Miss Boyd.
Wow.
Look, when I grow up,
I saw it on social.
When I grow up, I'm trying to get my life together now. And I have another favorite person that was like that. She wasn't wearing no heels, Miss Thacker. She was still playing golf. I don't even know if she's mad. She still might be alive, about 98, 99 right now. I want to be going on if the Lord don't come back. Like right now, I'm trying to get my life together. I've been feeling tired. This is not, I'm in the street, so I'm about to get the waist back in, get cinched done. Mama's got a man. Mama's got to have a life too. Shouts out to her. Like, I love that story. It's inspiration. And she looking as good as she want to look. Do you hear me? I said I never wanted to go out like laying in the bed. Just, I'm going to live my life till life don't live me no more. Okay. So our next story is about the sale of the very first Birkin. Can you afford it? Let's see what they're talking about.
Jane Birkin's Hermes bag has just sold at Sotheby's in Paris for a record-breaking $10 million, becoming the most expensive handbag ever sold at auction after a dramatic bidding war.
7 million euros. J'adjuge maintenant. Et c'est bien vu, à 7 millions. Adjugé au paddle 149.
With the hammer falling at a winning bid of 7 million euros, or $8.2 million, the bag was sold to a private collector from Japan. Known as the original Birkin, the all-black leather handbag is the first version of this timeless luxury staple, inspired by its owner, 60s it girl Jane Birkin. The British actor and singer spoke to Christiane Amanpour in 2020 about the bag's genesis over 40 years ago, after a chance encounter with former Hermes chairman Jean-Louis Dumas.
And I said, why don't you make a bag that you can leave open, sort of, and sort of half the size of my suitcase? Because girls like to have things on the end of their arm to put all their stuff in. And he said, well, draw it for me. And so I drew it on one of those sick bags, the vomit bag, in the aeroplane. And he was true to his word. And when it came to coming over and paying for the bag, he said, no, it's a gift. And so I was knocked out. And he said, but we think it's so great that we'd like to give it your name and to put it out, as a handbag.
The Birkin has since become the ultimate status symbol, with an unbeatable return on investment, known to sell at auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars, with the previous most expensive bag to sell publicly, the Diamond Himalaya Birkin, reaching over $450,000. But even if you're rich, they're notoriously hard to source. Once known for having long waiting lists, the bags can only be bought in person, and exact details of which Hermes stores stock them are still hard to pin down.
Get you a Birkin. I'm not in that price bracket right now. If someone wants to bless me with one, or maybe just let me see yours and walk with it a few feet, that would be great. But I didn't really know that full history of the Birkin. And so now we know. All we know is, it's expensive, player, and it's exclusive. But it's good to know the story. Very interesting. I wonder how much stock she has in the Birkin herself. Excuse me. So we do have a couple more stories to talk about before we get up out of here. As at the 2-hour mark. I promise we won't go to 2.5. We're chopping it down as we're live more and more. And it's Funky's time to be on. Nicki Minaj has been acting a fool all week or for the past couple of days. So let's talk about it. She's going off on Jay-Z and again Megan Thee Stallion. USA Today has this story. Sorry, it's one of these ones. I thought it was going to be video. Nicki Minaj has mocked Megan Thee Stallion after a judge allowed sexual harassment lawsuit against her move forward, rejecting her motion to dismiss it. Megan and Roc Nation are being sued by the former cameraman Emilio Garcia, who claims he was harassed and faced a hostile work environment. Garcia alleges he was trapped in the moving a vehicle while Megan had sex with the woman beside him, according to the court documents. He was trapped in a moving theater. Megan denied the claims, calling them salacious accusations, and said the lawsuit was an employment claim for money and meant to embarrass her. Judge Gregory H. Woods ruled Garcia provided enough evidence for his case to proceed, rejecting Megan's motion to dismiss. Minaj reacted on Instagram saying, "What was the name of that law again? Karma's law? Vengeance is the Lord's law. God ain't got nothing to do with this." The two rappers have been feuding since 2021, taking public shots at each other for years, as well as subliminal jabs in their respective singles. In 2024, Megan says she's still unsure why they're feuding. "I, to this day, don't know what the problem is," she told Billboard. And that may be true just simply because Nicki get mad at people doing songs with Cardi B. Okay. Gone somewhere. You know, this, how do we get to this hole? I wasn't where I was. And she thinks people supposed to hold this allegiance to her, and we don't. Why are you doing this? Oh well, we watched the video. I'm not finna go through this foolishness with these people and this thing. Anyway, so she also is saying that Jay-Z owes her money from being a shareholder in the company title. That there was a certain amount of percentage that she was supposed to get per her being a shareholder. And she's alleging that Jay-Z owes her $250 million. She's been tweeting about it. She's been being out in the wild about it. I just don't think it's the way to do things, but who knows? I want to say some things that might get me in trouble. I will just say she might be crashing out. Who knows? But I'm a Nicki fan, but I'm not a Nicki. I'm a Nicki Minaj music fan. I'm just not a Nicki fan. And it's unfortunate the way she handles things. It's really messy. And the proof is in the pudding that she's not a girl's girl. All that work she's done with Beyonce, you think that she's supposed to let you talk about her husband? I don't know. So all of that is messy and it's thick. And so I'll have to do another story on that at another day to kind of sort out what that is. Now, if you want Nicki Minaj content, go to August with the Shade. Shouts out to him. I'm sure he's all over this right now. August with the Shade is Nicki all day. And he goes up for Nicki. I will say that though. You can't say nothing bad about Nicki to August. So if you want to go and go dig deep into the tweets and what's been said, go check out August with the Shade as a YouTube channel, Instagram, all of that. Also, we're gonna just talk a little bit about where we at. I forgot where it is. There it is. YouTube news. I'm not going to share all the stories and all of that because those who watch YouTube, you already know what's going on. First, I want to talk about Funky Dineva. He's live. I'm going to get out here and watch him as well. Funky Dineva down to the Essence Fest. And I was going to pull it up. I should, but it's long. Has apologized, so to speak, to Claudia Jordan. Funky says he misses them working together, and basically the administration over at Fox Soul is ghetto. They had a lot of parts in the breaking up and the dissension in between the three main cast members, and he wants to work again. Right now, I believe Claudia is considering it. They're doing little interviews, they're doing a little talking, and we have to see if we're going to have a new TGIF reincarnate. Do I think it's going to involve Al? No, I don't. They both had problems. Well, Funky not so much because that was his friend, but as far as the working relationship, it was not a good one. So we have to see where that goes. Do you think that we should have another TGIF? It wouldn't be called that. It would be called something else, seeing as how Fox Soul allegedly stole the rights right up under Claudia Jordan. And so now they own the name, and she came up with the concept. So that's that on that. We'll have to see how it goes. Do you think Funky just needs a coin, or is he really sincere about he misses the way they work? It could be a lot of things going on, so we have to look into that. Also, I was out and about and I was doing things and perusing the YouTube streets, and I saw some things and I see some people. Apparently, Aaron, the sector inspector, has lost his page. I saw Miss Danny reading him down last night. Also, Evangelist Val was reading him down. So they got some things going on over there, going back and forth. If you're into those channels, go find them. I think he came up with another channel. I'm not sure, but anyway, I know his main channel got terminated. So there's some things going on with that. I also found another little something, but right now I can't think about it because I didn't write it down. But there's always something going on down to the YouTube. Goody and Val balling each other out just a little bit as well. Shouts out to Goody, shouts out to Val. It would be nice if we could just all get along with just be in our respective places, but that's what keeps the money flowing. That's what keeps the people listening. That's what keeps things going forward. So at this point in time, I don't even bother with it anymore. It is what it is. Everybody's talking about the Diddy trial, and that's been the focal point. But now that it's on hiatus, some things are going to change, and people are going to look for things to watch. So as far as YouTube, because again, I forgot the other story I was going to talk about. That's that on that. So pretty much I have given you the news. I'm ready to get up out of here. If you have not, if you have not pressed the like button, I would appreciate that you do. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. Those are free ways to those are free ways to support a Black-owned business. Yes, clicks and views. Okay, some people, and I'm gonna say the clicks and views ain't like right now. I'm getting the clicks and views. It's too little clicks and views to get anything. You have to start getting like 1,000 clicks and views somewhere in there, at least a half 1,000, to really start making money. So a lot of these people make their money off of cash apps and donations and stuff like that. That's where they get their money from. So they go on here and big and stuff like that. I just personally, I've never been a person to be able to sit and beg on this channel. Do I appreciate contributions? Sometimes do I need contributions? Yes. But just to sit up here and be like, you gotta give me some money. I do not. I have too much pride. I have too much dignity. And that's just me. That's just me. I can't do it. I won't do it. That's why I don't be here. I gotta go find something else to do. To get my money or whatever I have to do, I have to work for it in other ways or whatever. If you feel like you want to bless me, then you do, but it's not an obligation of the people to do so. Our money is really supposed to come from ad revenue, monetization, selling products, getting big, having more views. It doesn't come like that all the time, but neither am I going to sit here and keep doing things to jeopardize my monetization and the termination of my page. It's too much. It's too stressful. It's just too many things going on. So with that being said, I do appreciate my audience. I have a special kind of audience. All of you are special. If nobody's told you that they love you today, I will tell you that I love you, okay? If this is your first time coming, I appreciate if you come back. See the wide variety of what I want to say, the wide variety of content. That's the word I'm looking for. I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. The wide variety of content that I have in this channel. And maybe next time we do 50/50 news, I can get this intro and outro right. Again, now that the stuff is here. But again, I appreciate y'all so much. And have a great day. Thank you very much. This is Princess. You've been watching 50/50 News. Now it's time for me to turn out the lights. Have a good one.